Hello guys, welcome to Bugs in Code. The problem that I'm going to explain today is make the array beautiful. But before that, if you are new here and a person who likes stuff related to coding, then you can subscribe the channel so that you get notified when I push any video. Okay, so let's get started. Here is the problem statement and it says that you're given an array of positive and negative integers and you have to make the array beautiful. Okay, what's a beautiful array? So an array is beautiful if two adjacent integers array of I and array of I plus 1 have the same sign. Okay, and you can do the following operations any number of times until the array becomes beautiful. The operation is if two adjacent integers have different signs, okay, you have to remove them. Okay, fine. So a beautiful array is the array where every set of adjacent element is having the same sign, like either positive positive, okay, or the sign can be negative and negative for adjacent element. Okay, and the operation is whenever you have two elements of different sign, you have to remove both of them. Okay, like if I have one positive element, second negative, or like first negative element then second positive. I'm talking about adjacent elements here. Okay, so in that case I have to remove both element. Okay, fine. Now you have to return the beautiful array after performing the above operation. One note is given here. Note says that an empty array is also a beautiful array, and there can be many adjacent integers with different sign. So remove the adjacent integers with different sign from left to right. Okay. One example is given here. Let me explain the example. So the example says that you're given an array which is having elements 4, 2, minus 2 and 1. Okay. Now for this array, you can see that these two adjacent elements are having positive values. So these are having same values. Okay. After that, so I can add these two in my answer. Okay. After that, I can see that two adjacent element having different signs, like first is positive then second is negative. Okay, in that case I have to remove both of them. So what I can do is I can remove both these elements. Okay, after that I will have, instead of two I will have one here. Okay, so I will have one here and the remaining array will be 4 1. Now for this array you can see that we have both positive signs, like two adjacent element with positive sign. So this array is a beautiful array, then there is no need to perform any operation. Okay, so you can see that 4 1 is going to be the output here. Now I hope you guys are clear with the problem statement. Let me talk about the solution now. Okay, so I'm going to take an example, and the example is I have an array which is having element minus 3, 0, 1, minus 19, minus 15, minus 12, 1 and 12. Okay, now for this array I will start with this element. Okay, so is this single element a beautiful array? Yes, because it is a single element which is having a negative sign, so there is no adjacent element here. Okay, after that I have this 0. I will add this 0 to my answer. Now you can see that I have two elements with different signs, so I have to remove both of them. So isn't it similar to like if I have minus 3 here and when I come to this 0, then I see that these two are having like different sign. Okay, so if I call this like a list. Okay, so I will say that if last element, if I will say that if last element of the list is negative, is negative is smaller than 0. Okay, and if current element, I'm at this index, so 0 is current element is positive integer. Okay, in that case I can simply remove that element from the list. So remove last element, isn't it? Like either I do this perform operation like first add then remove both of them, or I simply remove I will not add this, instead I will remove this element and I will move forward. Okay, now this is the first condition that we have. After that I come to this index. Okay, for this index again you can see that I have here like, okay, so since my list is empty I can simply add this one to my answer, to my list, answer list. This is answer list. Okay, and after that I will come to this 19. So one more thing is, if my list is empty, if like list is empty, okay, in that case I can simply add to list, right? Okay, now I can see that again I have two elements with different sign, but in this case I have the last element with positive sign and this element, current element, with negative sign. So in that case again I will do like I will remove this element, last element. But how I will remove? I will check one more condition here. Like in this place, I will write one more condition, which is if last element is greater than equal to 0 and current element is smaller than 0. Okay, so there are two possibility for having negative sign, and even I have told this to you here. Okay, now in both the cases I have to remove the last element. Okay, and if list is empty, then I can simply add to list. Okay, now I can see that I have minus 15 here. Okay, so I can simply add minus 15 to my list because list is empty. Okay, after that I have minus 12 here. So now you can see that I have negative element here and I have negative element here. Okay, so I can simply add this minus 12 here, isn't it? Okay, so let me write this as well. Like if I have, if both have same sign. When I say both, then I'm talking about the last element and the current element that I'm currently pointing to. Okay, in that case I have to add to list at last position, like last position. I can simply say that append to list, like I'm adding to last position. Okay, now I will move to this 12 and I can see that this 12 is again like we have different sign here, like 12 is negative and the current element is positive, so this condition is true and I will remove this last element. Okay, so after that I will move to this 12. Okay, and this 12 again we can see that I have like different signs, so I will again remove this minus 15 and this 12. So at the end I have an empty list as my output. Okay, now I hope the approach is clear to you. Like you can see that I'm doing two main operations. The first is add to last position and the second is remove last element. So this means that whenever I have different signs, okay, so let me write my observations here. Whenever I have different signs, in that case I have to remove, like remove the last element. The last inserted element will be first out, isn't it? So I need this kind of operation, like where I have last element that I have inserted to be first out. Okay, so which data structure provide us this operation? Isn't it like stack? Okay, so this means that we can solve this problem using stack, and even I have explained the approach here, like how we can solve this problem using stack. Okay, so I will have a stack and I will iterate over the elements and I will check the three conditions that I have told you, like these three conditions. Now, I hope the approach is clear to you. I'm just going to show you the code. Okay, so I have the Java code on the left hand side and I have the C++ code on the right hand side. I have even provided the Python code in my uh, GitHub repository and here as well. Okay, so I'll start with the Java code. I'll start with Java code because I have done some code optimization here. I'm making a stack. Okay, and after that I'm simply doing the operation that I have told you, like if stack is empty and uh, this condition is true, like stack is not empty and this condition is true, then stack dot pop, else stack will be empty or this condition will be not true. In both the cases I have to simply add to last position in the stack. Okay, and after that I'm doing I plus plus. Fine. Now at last I will have element in my stack, and you know that like a stack stores the element in reverse order, so I have to like add that element to my array list because I have to return an array list, and I'm each time I'm adding it like index 0. Why I'm doing this? Because if I have element in the stack, like okay, so if I have element like 1 2 3 4, so I want 1 2 3 4 in my answer. But when I do so, when I keep popping elements, so it will first add 4, after that 3, after that 2, after that 1, but I don't want this order, so that's why I'm appending at 0th position. Like it will first add 4, after that here it will add 3, after that 2, after that 1. So in this case I will have this as my answer. Okay, now this is about the Java code. Now let's talk about the C++ code. In C++ code, I have done some optimizations and you can do the same optimizations here as well. Okay, so now here I am having a list. I am calling this list as a stack. Okay, and we know that in stack, like stack, what are the stack operation? I can simply remove the last element. This is my operation, and my like push operation is simply push back. Okay, and I'm checking both the condition. But special thing is about this code is here we don't need to like convert that stack to list. So I can simply add stack directly because the stack is nothing but a vector. Okay, so this is about all about this solution, and here as well we can do optimizations, like we can use array list instead of this stack. Okay, Now let me show you the Python code. So this is the Python code. Here again I am having a Python list, and after that I am doing the same operations. Okay, so -1 index is used to check the last element, and here pop operation will remove the last element and append will add to last. Okay, so this is all about the solution. I hope approach is clear to you and the code is also clear to you. Thank you.